Okay, so today we're gonna do the Diary of a Wimpy Kid tier list. Obviously inspired by both iDubbbz and TierZoo. If you don't know who they are, iDubbbz is this guy. He used to do these really interesting things, but now he doesn't really upload anymore. He made a tier list of different fast food items and presidents, which kind of started this trend to rank things. Alright, TierZoo, his whole channel is about ranking things on this tier list. He does animals, and he sizes up their stats and stuff like that, and uses gaming terminology. Yeah, TierZoo's an epic gamer. What you gonna do about it, bro? And me, as well as an epic gamer just like TierZoo, I'm gonna make a tier list, but instead of animals, which are, come on, let's be real, lame. I mean, who likes animals, right? I'm gonna do something way more interesting, which is the Diary of a Wimpy Kid characters. Yeah, I'm quirky, I'm different, you know? I wanna get into some tomfoolery. Hopefully I'm not too big for my britches here. Alright, I'll shut the hell up. Alright, so this is Greg. We're gonna start off with Greg. He's cool, he's pretty epic. Well, I'm not gonna put him at S tier, because he's more C tier, and I'll explain why. Greg is kind of a jerk. Despite being the main character, he constantly bullies everyone. He manipulates Rally into doing things for him. The only reason I'm not putting him in pure evil is because he's funny, and he makes pretty epic remarks sometimes, and yeah, he's just generally an all-around funny guy. You know, Greg kind of reminds me of me, because I'm kind of an evil person as well. The only difference being between me and Greg is Greg has friends, and I don't. And another major difference being Greg can actually draw. Yeah. Alright, so we're next gonna move on to Roderick. We're gonna go down the family line. No, Roderick is an automatic at A tier. Yeah, he's not S tier because he's kind of a jerk. Again, he's kind of a jerk, but he's A tier because, first of all, his band name is hilarious. I mean, Loaded Diaper. That's pretty freaking epic. Am I right, guys? And two, he gets up to all sort of wacky antics, just like his sibling. I like how he constantly bullies Greg. I found that really hilarious. Roderick reminds me of myself because I always bully my younger brother as well. Yeah, except I don't feel really bad about that. Yeah, and also another really noble thing, which is why I'm putting Roderick pretty high up on the tier list, is when evil fascist dictator Manny took power. Roderick attempted an assassination on Manny, but unfortunately it failed. Manny shot him. But if it weren't for Roderick, then nobody would be aware of Manny's evil deeds. Roderick is the one who tipped off the FBI about Manny's war crimes and all sorts of shenanigans like that. Yeah, Roderick's an all-around cool dude. Okay, alright. Next, we're gonna move on to Frank Heffley. I'm gonna have to put Frank Heffley, D tier, because he's not quite F tier because Frank didn't really do anything terrible throughout the series like Manny or Greg. Frank is he's just a dad. He's not fat. And he has a weird name, Frank. Like, who has a name Frank? Am I right? What a loser. You could tell Frank has been bullied in his high school years. And Frank tends to has a stupid hobby. He likes to make models of a Civil War battlefield. Huh, what a nerd. Yeah, Frank's a huge nerd, and that's why I'm putting him in D tier. He's a huge doofus. Yeah. Next, we're gonna do Susan Heffley. Now, Susan Heffley is retarded. All right. She constantly ruins the lives of her kids. She makes them actually eat vegetables. She's. I don't know if this is not book canon. I think this is only in the movies, but she did her little dancing mom thing. God. Yeah, and that's why I'm putting her in same level as Frank. Both the parents are major antagonists throughout the series, and I think they're on the same level in terms of terribleness. Okay, we're not gonna do Manny right now. I have a lot to say about him. We're gonna do next. We're gonna do Shiragi. He's B tier. I thought when Greg pulled that hashtag epic prank on him, that invisible Shrek prank, that was pretty funny. Yeah, that was pretty epic. He's the only one who actually didn't do anything horrible. He's an all-around cool dude. The reason I'm not putting him S tier is because he didn't really do anything funny. He didn't do anything really hilarious throughout the series. He's just kind of there to be the butt of the joke. I kind of relate to Shrek because I remember this one time where it was pretty funny actually looking back on it, but I remember that one time there was this big kid, and he took me, and then he put me in the toilet and smashed my head repeatedly against the toilet seat until my face started bleeding. And then that was a pretty funny prank. I mean, when I look back on when I look back on it, it's pretty funny. But at the time I thought it was pretty bad. Yeah. But it turned out to be a epic prank. Yeah. Alright, next we're gonna do the pig. The pig I'm gonna have to put on an E tier. He's pretty terrible, and I'll explain why. First of all, he has connections with evil dictator Manny Heffley. Second of all, he just looks retarded. He looks like he belongs in a special ed classroom. He looks, oh my, he's just, and like, oh yeah, well, yeah. Greg always described the pig as being being able to do things a pig would not normally be able to do, such as operate a TV with a remote. That's kind of crazy. I'll admit that's kind of wacky. That's kind of zany. That's kind of cool. But he looks retarded and he's ugly, so I'm gonna have to put him in E tier. Next, we're gonna have to put we're gonna do Heather Hills. I couldn't find the cartoon version. Well, I could find the cartoon version of her, but it was in color and it was pretty long, and I didn't want to resize it into a square. So I just got this little movie version of her. To be honest, I don't really know that much about Heather except that she cleaned up vomit in the book. So I'm gonna have to put her in E tier because that's pretty lame. Imagine cleaning up vomit to earn money. That's pretty weird. What a loser. Yeah. Alright, next we're gonna do Grandpa Heffley. I'm gonna put Grandpa Heffley in E tier as well. And the reason is why he tortures his grandsons constantly, and he has little to no redeeming qualities about him to make me put him in a higher tier. Because, as you can see, everyone with a tier higher above him, with a higher tier than him, they do horrible things as well. But they're actually funny, unlike Grandpa Heffley here. Grandpa Heffley, well, he hasn't paid his taxes since 2004. And he makes watercress salad for his kids and plays gin rummy. Yeah, he's kind of an old geezer. Alright. Next we're gonna do Holly Hills. Holly Hills gets, let me see here. She gets a B tier. I mean, she hasn't done really anything horrible throughout the book. The reason I'm not putting her on a higher tier is because, well, first of all, she's not really funny. Alright, Grandpa's not funny either. See, everyone below her is, except for Greg. Greg's pretty funny, like I said. But, again, he's on C tier because of the horrible things he's done. But she's on B tier because she hasn't done really anything horrible except mistake Greg for Fregley, which was pretty horrible. You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna have to rethink that. I'm gonna have to put her down on C tier. Yeah. You know, get a restraining order, so I'm gonna put her a little bit far away. Yeah, so this is a girl Greg has been crushing on throughout the early books. Yeah. Another one of her sins is that she doesn't notice the absolute Chad Gregory, the absolute Chad. When Greg becomes a billionaire, I bet Holly wishes she didn't mistake Greg for Fregley. Yeah, huh. Oh god. Alright, well, yeah, she's here. And, I thought that was pretty funny what she wrote in, Rowley's yearbook. Because you wouldn't normally expect someone like Rowley to get... Never mind, I'll shut up. Alright. Next we're gonna do Fregley. And Fregley is S tier. And let me say why. Fregley is genuinely one of the funniest characters in the book, and he hasn't done anything horrible. Fregley is funny. Fregley is funny. Alright? He's got into all sorts of zany shenanigans. Okay, I'll stop saying that. He's gotten Greg to crawl through the sewer to escape from him. He's somehow managed to put himself into a snowman without anyone helping him, which is kind of weird. I wonder how he packed the snow around his arms. And, he's kind of autistic, I'll say that. He's definitely in special ed, and he has no friends. That's why I feel kind of bad for him, because I can definitely relate to Fregley, because, well, despite being 15 years of age, I am in the 4th grade. And all these kids make fun of me. I get bullied by this kid named Nathan. I always get bullied by him. Yeah, he's like 6 years younger than me, and he only comes up to my waist, but he still manages to put me in the toilet. Yeah, and he's kind of a Chad. All the girls seem to like him, and not me, even though I'm taller than him. And we all know someone's self-worth is calculated by how tall you are. Next, we're gonna move on to Rowley. Rowley, he's S tier as well. You know, Rowley is super innocent, and I think why I think his character works is because there's just like an endless amount of jokes you can do with Rowley's innocence. Like, for example, he's completely unaware to being manipulated by Greg into like tripping his dad and pulling epic pranks on him. Yeah, Rowley, one of the funniest parts of the book is how often Rowley gets tricked, deceived by Greg, who has 1,000 IQ, but Rowley's more of 65 IQ. So he gets into all sorts of all sorts of crazy things happen to him because he doesn't know right from wrong. Well, he doesn't know right from wrong. He just can't really compute. He can't really he can't pick up on the obvious signs that what he's being told is a good idea isn't actually a good idea. I like it. I think it's funny whenever Rowley gets tricked into doing funny things like eating cheese and almost going to the hospital. And there is this one fun fact about Rowley is that he still wets the bed, which is epic funny. Yeah, totally not indicative of some sort of Oh yeah, also Rowley self-diagnoses himself of depression. That's also a little known fact. Yeah, and he's also, his favorite artist is XXX Extension Cord. When he died, when he got shot, Rowley cried for a whole year, and he's still crying to this day, says some legends. If you don't know, XXX Extension Cord is the rapper name for Joshy. Just saying. Alright, finally, we have the evil man himself, Manny Heffley. God, I hate him. He is F tier. He is so F tier. Yeah, Manny's F tier. He's just terrible. He's a terrible, terrible, terrible monster. Let me explain to you why. Now, Manny Heffley was just an ordinary baby, 3 years old, up to a certain point which we do not know. Manny has been getting, Manny has been constantly annoying his brother, constantly making Greg's life miserable by putting a cookie down his PS4, making Greg's gaming console break. He's also created a weapon which he used to give to Greg. It was a tinfoil ball with little toothpicks sticking out of it, and ended up almost killing Rowley. Rowley's gluteus maximus was punctured, and a mater artery was stabbed, and a bunch of blood was coming out, and Rowley was never the same since. I think that's when Rowley got his depression. Now, Manny went to Vietnam, and he napalmed a bunch of innocent children, and he laughed as they screamed out in agony, and he roasted marshmallows on their writhing, agonizing, burning bodies. He also watches the Snurples, and he can't speak English, but he can speak the Snurple language, and he can also speak Spanish. His ability in Spanish led him to join up with a drug cartel and smuggle cocaine across the U.S.-Mexico border. He ended up killing over 15,000 innocent people just with the cartel alone. Eventually, as I said earlier, Roderick notified the FBI of Manny's horrible deeds, and the FBI raided the house to arrest Manny, only to find Roderick with a bullet hole in his head, because Manny shot Roderick in the head with a Luger chambered in 9mm. After that, Manny escaped to a secluded island where he built up his a fortress with some of his followers, and he acquired nuclear weapons somehow, and he launched the nukes at Canada and the United States, and eventually he conquered the whole world except for Europe, which as of today, they are still at war. Manny is also an avid member of the furry fandom. Yeah. there's a lot of horrible things to say about Manny. He turned off the power of the entire house during a snowstorm for some selfish reasons. He also was asleep while his family was decorating a Christmas tree, and he woke up right as they finished. And he started crying nonstop because he didn't get to put on the first ornament, so the family had to take down every single ornament so he can be the first to put up the candy cane. God, I wish I could shove a light bulb down Manny's throat and crush it in his neck so he starts coughing up bits of broken glass and blood. That'll be hilarious. It'll be really funny if I could make Manny bite down on a nail file and yank it out of his teeth really fast so those big ugly buck teeth of his just grind down. Yeah, that's why Manny is F tier. So that's my Diary of a Wimpy Kid ranking. I hope you enjoyed.